guys, this is Chucky, my red-fronted macaw, and he's a jerk. Yes, Chucky, aren't you? You're a little jerk. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. These miniature macaws tend to be very, Chihuahua-like, almost little man syndrome. They tend to exaggerate things even more. They tend to be more vocal. They tend to be more dramatic. I jokingly say that he is an old man trapped in a toddler's body with the emotional maturity of a 2-year-old. He throws tantrums, he holds grudges, he will yell at you, he likes to curse at you, he likes to curse at inanimate objects. Yes, yeah. Chucky and I met about a year and a half ago or so when I was working at a dog shelter. He came in as a cruelty case. Sadly, the people that owned him were hoarding a whole bunch of dogs, and then randomly Chucky here. While he was in our care, we weren't really specialized in birds, so being I was one of the few bird owners there, I took it upon myself to really help Chucky kind of settle in while the court case was underway. It normally takes about a month or so for all that to go through. During that time, I hung out with him every day. Being that we didn't know much about his past, we also didn't know really what his food preference was. Birds will starve themselves, sadly, when they don't recognize the food that's given to them. During that month, I spent a lot of time trying to try different kinds of birdseed brands, different kind of vegetables, fruits, treats, pretty much anything I could just to make sure that he was eating correctly. We were obviously monitoring him with a vet and everything. During that time, though, we figured that he gravitated towards a lot of bad foods. So we do think that he might have been eating a lot of human food, sadly. Even to this day, whenever I eat anything, he will tell me it's okay, like he's trying to convince me that it's okay that I feed him bad foods. Thankfully, during the time that I've owned him, he has converted over to a pretty healthy lifestyle, which has allowed his feathers to grow in much prettier. He was originally kind of grayish when I got him. You can see on his beak that he still has a lot of flaking back here. This flaking used to go all the way back, so it's still taking some time to kind of fix itself. You will also see that he is very mouthy. He is not trying to hurt me at all, but that's his jerk language of love, huh? Ah, you're so vicious. You're so vicious. He is fully capable of actually inflicting some decent damage if he wanted to. He has never intentionally tried to hurt me. He loves to wrestle, loves to just be mouthy. Chucky, though, is like many macaws. He is very vocal. They like the sound of their own voice. He is a very good talker. He has many phrases. Even to this day, he says random things that I know I've never said to him, so it's come from his past life. I have absolutely no clue how old he is. I actually don't even know his gender. I just call him a boy by default. And then he's never said his original name, because when I got him, I actually named him Chucky. Sometimes rescue macaws will say their name, which is always odd, but he's never said a single name. Consider getting one of the smaller macaws. Don't be fooled in the fact that you think that the smaller macaws will be easier. I find that they have exactly the same care. You're going to need a huge macaw-specific cage. Even though are smaller, their beaks are super strong. They have very powerful, very large beaks. They can easily break most cages and bars and stuff. So you want to buy one like you're buying one for a normal size macaw. You do want to make sure that you are providing pretty strong toys also. Again, I have tons of different kinds of toys on my toy line that will allow for them to play with. Chucky, weirdly enough, loves having a combination of toy textures. He likes both the harder pine that I usually use for larger birds, and he really likes balsa wood, which is a very soft wood. He's kind of lazy sometimes, so he likes to chew on the pine for his beak maintenance, and then the balsa is when he's just being angry and he wants to destroy stuff really quickly. He's a little man with anger issues. You are going to want to make sure that you are feeding them a diverse diet. They do like to have a mixture of both a high quality pellet if you're into that. I normally use pellets as a side dish. It's not my main component in any of my diets. And then I usually will do a good sprouted seed. I do have a video of how I sprout my seeds. I will link that up here somewhere. And then I normally will do the sprouted seeds, a dry seed mix, which I will plan on building a video on what I put in my dry mix. I always do a diverse diet of different kind of vegetables. I give fruit about once a week, maybe every other week. All of my birds are not huge sweet meat kind of birds. They don't really like fruit that much, and you do want to limit the amount of sugar that you give them in general because it can cause hormonal issues, make them even crankier and more energetic than they need to be. Obviously, you're going to want to have some kind of treat so that you can bond with them. Macaws and most birds can benefit off of tree nuts. I usually will use walnut, pecan, pine nuts, almonds. I really do like almonds in the shell as an occasional treat because you obviously can't break it up once it's in the shell, but the shell will help them kind of forage and have to break it with their beak, so that causes a little bit of wear and tear on their beak, which is nice. Chucky here is not the greatest flyer, but he is getting better. Once I got him, I don't think he ever really flew. He definitely showed that he had learned to fly, but he never got a chance to be out of his cage like he should have, so his muscles atrophied. So he was willing to take the plunge and learn to fly. We had to do baby steps. Now he's getting much better. His stamina is getting better. Now he's like a tumor, and I can't get away from him sometimes because he will fly to me everywhere. But yeah, mini macaws like Chucky are pretty awesome. But I will say that they are a lot of work, and most people probably wouldn't really get along with poor little Chucky because he is, like I said at the beginning of the video, a jerk. A lovable jerk. Yeah. It's like that toxic relationship that you just love but know it's not good for you at the same time.